Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Good Morning Show. I'm Chris, your host, and this is the only show that lasts as long as, depending on my employment status. So, we got a lot of stuff to get into, so let's go ahead and get into that. So, what do we have first? All right, this comes from Inside the Magic. All right, let's see. So Disney responds to park reservation issues. Let's see. The Walt Disney World Resort's Disney Park Pass system is now in its third day of operation, and as Disney Resort guests began claiming or attempting to claim their park days, complaints have emerged across the internet, but now Disney has responded. In a statement to Inside the Magic, Disney was able to confirm that these specific issues guests encounter regarding the Disney Park Pass reservation system should be resolved, and at this time, guests should be able to make reservations using the Disney Park Pass as long as their booking window has opened. The booking window for Disney Resort guests opened on June 22nd. The booking window for annual pass holders opens on June 26th, and the booking window for pre-existing theme park ticket guests will open on June 28th. Guests encountering any specific or individual issues are being encouraged to call or chat with the Disney Reservation Center for further assistance. A Disney spokesperson also spoke. The reservation system has no such glitch. Disney had made the system available for Monday first for people with a previous Disney World Resort reservation. The spokesperson said the system will be available for annual pass holders this Friday and for the general public on Sunday. People who couldn't reserve Monday probably thought it was a glitch, but in reality, they were likely trying to book before it was their turn, the spokesperson said. This explanation follows Inside the Magic's report yesterday on the reason for glitch, which reminded guests with hotel reservations that they can only make park passes on the same day as their resort stay, but not all of the unavailable dates seen are caused by glitches. So basically the whole thing had nothing to do with it being overridden or stuff like that. It was just people who were trying to make reservations that it wasn't their turn. So let's go on. We're going to move on to some Marvel news. And this comes from Showbiz Cheat Sheets. Captain America actually died in Infinity War, according to an MCU fan theory. The thrilling, tragic battle of Wakanda in Avengers Infinity War is perhaps the most important scene in the entire history of the Marvel Cinematic MCU thus far. The devastating battle and end of the movie results in the death of many beloved characters and setting the stage for the epic final confrontation with the evil and powerful Thanos, played by Josh Brolin, in Avengers Endgame. The fight is in the end of a story that has been continually built in the 20-plus film series that centers on the powerful Infinity Stones. Thanos' only goal is to retrieve the final stone that is implanted in Vision's, played by Paul Bettany, head. In the scene, Thanos uses his other stones to take down the Avenger foes, and according to one fan's theory, he uses the Time Stone to surprisingly revive one of the most famous Avengers after killing him. The fan theory that Captain America died during the Battle of Wakanda. At the end of the film, Captain America, Chris Evans, and his fellow Avengers do everything in their power to save Vision and keep the final Infinity Stone that is in his head away from Thanos. The epic battle is a fantastic piece of action film showcasing the many heroes of the MCU and their abilities. The Mind Stone is the final piece that the Mad Titan requires to complete his Infinity Gauntlet, which will give him the power to destroy half of the population of the universe. They are eventually unsuccessful, and Thanos achieves his malicious intent. During the fight, some fans believe that Captain America dies as a result of a massive blow to the head by Thanos, and is then brought back when Thanos reverses time. Thanos has to reverse time because Scarlet Witch, played by Elizabeth Olsen, destroys the stone, killing her love Vision. By using the time stone, the Titan is able to turn back time and pluck the Mind Stone from Vision. So, they're saying that Captain America was actually killed in an Infinity War. And when Thanos reversed time, it brought him back. So, it's an interesting theory. I'd have to rewatch it to see what I think. But, I mean, I guess it could be possible. But it's a really interesting theory. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's do some video game news. Alright. This comes from Comic Book Gaming. Call of Duty Modern Warfare adding popular mode permanently following fan demand. Infinity Ward has revealed it's adding a popular mode to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, permanently following from feedback and demand from countless PS4, Xbox One, and PC players. The new edition won't concern Call of Duty Warzone players, but for the millions still grinding Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer, it will be a welcomed addition. More specifically, today, the aforementioned developer revealed it's adding realism mode to the game permanently. Much to the vexation of players, Infinity Ward hasn't made realism mode a permanent addition to the game in favor of rotating it out here and there like it does with many more specific modes. And this has been a bit strange. As you may remember, the mode was highlighted in a major way before releasing, suggesting it would be a permanent addition to the game's multiplayer offering. Confirmation of the mode's permanent addition doesn't come from Infinity Ward exactly, but the game's co-designer, multiplayer director Joe Sakat, who makes a habit of interacting with fans on Twitter, which sometimes leads to pertinent information being shared. Unfortunately, while we know the mode will be a staple of Call of Duty Modern Warfare offering going forward, there isn't any word of them it will be made permanent. It could come in the next update or in a few updates from now. Sakat doesn't provide any information in regards. I don't play reality mode. I think I've tried it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go in and try it again. So, but let's go ahead and move on. Here we go. We reported on this a little bit yesterday. And this comes from Yahoo News. Universal Orlando laying off workers just 2 weeks after reopening. Universal has laid off a number of employees across various departments, including its Parks and Resort division, a spokesperson confirmed on Wednesday. The cuts come just weeks after Universal Studio Florida, Universal's Island of Adventure, and Universal's Volcano Bay reopened on June 5th with reduced capacity and new safety measures. It's unclear exactly which departments and how many employees have been affected. Comcast, the parent company of the parks and of NBC News, has taken a financial hit from the coronavirus pandemic in April. Comcast reported first quarter earnings for 2020 that showed theme park revenue had decreased 31.9% to $869 million, primarily due to the closure as a result of COVID-19. The theme park industry is one of the sectors most heavily impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. Disney furloughs workers in April and has faced pushback on its plans to reopen theme parks across the country in mid-July. SeaWorld Entertainment announced in late March that it would be temporarily furloughing over 90% of its employees who would not receive compensation during the period. Six Flags, which released first quarter earnings in April, has seen a 20% decline in revenue due to the pandemic. Universal parks have been closed since mid-March, and with tourism still down, the industry could take years to recover to pre-pandemic levels. We have made the difficult decision to reduce our parks and resorts workforce across multiple locations and business units, Universal Orlando's spokesman Tom Schroeder said in a statement, "This decision was not made lightly, but was necessary to prepare us for the future. Laid off workers will receive severance pay, subsidized health benefits, professional employment help," Schroeder said. So yeah, so it's not very much anything different than what we reported yesterday, but yeah. So I wonder if they just kind of overcompensated or if they did anything to change things up, because it seems hopefully Disney will not make that same. What did I just do? Okay. Same mistake and call too many people back, and have to lay them off later. All right, here we go. So a little bit of Disney news in the animation section. This comes from Cinema Blend. One thing Frozen. I don't know what's going on with my stuff. Okay. One thing Frozen creators feel shame about with the first movie. The original Frozen was a massive hit for Walt Disney Animation. It's one of its biggest animated movies ever made, and it was so big that it actually spawned a sequel. Something we rarely see with theatrical Disney animation. The movie balanced Disney's history of animated films equally with taking a critical eye toward the very same concept. For many reasons, you could call Frozen a perfect movie, but there is one flaw in the movie according to the pair behind all of Frozen's music. Beyond that, there is something they considered a great shame. On Friday, Disney Plus will debut Into the Unknown, Making Frozen 2, a documentary series that follows the final years of production on the soon-to-be hit movie. As one might expect, getting the music right is a big part of the series, and as such, the songwriter team of Robert Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez admit that the sequel gave them an opportunity to write one major song in an original film, giving Jonathan Groff something awesome to sing. In the first movie, we did not get to write a song for Kristoff, and it's going to be our great shame that we carry with us for the rest of our lives, but we've tried to make it right with Frozen 2 by giving Kristoff an epic song. Whether you know Jonathan Groff from Broadway, Glee, or Frozen, there's a little argument that the man has an incredible voice, and yet nobody got much of a chance to experience that in the original Frozen. Kristen Bell called the lack of a Jonathan Groff song her only critique of the first movie, and so it appears that the shame that the songwriters feel extends even to the rest of the cast. Wow. So that's pretty cool to find out that they feel a little bit bad about not creating a song for Jonathan Groff, who was the voice of Kristoff. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Looking down. Here we go. Kind of Marvel move. Some Marvel news here. Matt Damon passed on a major role in the MCU. As much as Marvel tried to recruit the biggest star in the entertainment world, they sometimes come up with a miss. While they continue to recruit A-list actors for new or upcoming roles, they managed to lose out on bringing in Matt Damon. Damon could have played Daredevil had things gone just right. Maybe he was fortunate in that he bowed out when some actors become so easily typecast. Keep in mind, this was Marvel's 20th Century Fox version of Daredevil, starring Ben Affleck, before the MCU came into existence. What makes Damon turning down the role so interesting is it became a he said situation between him and Affleck on who accepted the role first. So, see, Daredevil was an important superhero for Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. According to Damon, when interviewed about the role in 2016, as reported by ABC News, Daredevil was the most liked by him and Affleck as kids. To them, Matt Murdock was the ultimate superhero, and being a lawyer by day and vigilant superhero by night. The look of both Murdock and his alter ego is obviously cool when going by Murdoch's shades and the helmet for Daredevil. As young actor, playing Daredevil in a movie was likely a major dream. When the opportunity came up, however, fate became more than a little ironic. Damon said in the aforementioned interview he was offered the role first. This apparent conflict with Affleck's story, who said he was offered the role first, even if he ultimately regrets being so impetuous and how the role turned out. Ben Affleck was reportedly more eager to win the role. It's more or less turned into a competition between Affleck and Damon on who would win the role of Daredevil first. Damon swears by his assertion he had the script first, yet turned it down out of precaution. His official explanation for turning it down was because he was unfamiliar with the work of the director, Mark Steven Johnson, according to Screen Rants. It appears Damon had a sixth sense not to join a movie where the director might not be familiar with the material. So, I don't know if that would change the movie. I know a lot of people didn't care for Daredevil. But that's it may have changed being Matt Damon, but I don't know. The story was there. The way it was directed would still been the same. I don't know if Damon would have had any influence on that, but all right, let's see. Okay, so here we go. This comes from Esquire, some Star Wars news. A new Star Wars... Oh, hey, Michael Riley. A new Star Wars fan theory explains the real reason when Yoda went into exile in Dagobah. If you remember, the Jedi Council didn't exactly have its stuff together in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. The council members, which included powerful Jedi like Mace Windu and Yoda, sat in a fancy room and talked politics instead of, heroing across the galaxy. They let the whole Anakin Skywalker situation run just a tiny bit out of control. Oh, and they didn't figure out that Palpatine was a Sith until he went psycho villain either. The council was disastrous that when Darth Sidious defeated Yoda in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, the green guy just packed it up and exiled himself to Dagobah. The whole thing doesn't add up. How did the galaxy's best Force user fail to stop Anakin and Palpatine from forming the Empire? Turns out it might be because they didn't have a connection to the Force at all. A new Star Wars fan theory from Reddit users, the mediocre critic, argues that Yoda and the Jedi Masters lost their connection to the Force long before the events of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Sometimes before the event of Phantom Menace, I believe that the Yoda and the Jedi Masters had lost their connection to the Force. They know they have and are hiding it. The Order had become a cult more focused on bureaucracy and the ruling governing the code of the Jedi than the spiritual connection to the Force. The mediocre critic writes that the Council's Force crisis explains the rise of Anakin Skywalker and Palpatine, as well as the Jedi's defeat at the hands of Darth Sidious and Order 66. The user even thinks that there might have been some jealousy of Anakin, whose Force powers were clearly alive and well. That is why Mace and the Council are so afraid and dismissive of Anakin. He has a true connection to the Force, something they no longer have, and reminds them that they are imposters. They can use the tricks, but the connection is severed. The user's last thought is that the Council's failure are what led to Yoda exiling himself to Dagobah, which makes sense. If he kept a lie going for so long and failed to keep Anakin away from the Sith, then it was probably best to disappear on a swamp planet for a bit. So, fan theories stating that the Jedi had lost their connection to the Force. They were still able to use it, but and able to probably use it as being able to see into the future. It sounds like maybe is what they're talking about. All right, so we got here we go, some Disney news. All All right, and this comes from WDW News Today. Everglazed donuts and cold brew coming soon to Disney Springs. Location. Oh, here we go. So Disney Springs has announced the upcoming edition of Everglazed donuts and cold brewing coming to Disney Springs. I'm not too Locations and details and launch date have yet to be revealed, but we're excited for the new coffee and pastry addition to Disney Springs. The new location has its own website, but for now, it is just a coming soon page. Stay tuned for more details from Everglazed. So I don't think I've ever had Everglazed coffee or cold brew or donuts. So, but of course, a new addition is always something great to Disney Springs. All right, let's see. All right, I think that looks like a lot of stuff I've done before. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can bring something else. All right. All right, so this is from Inside the Magic. Disney World cast member shares concerns in letter to guest. Disney parks around the world continues to reopen their gates and cast members begin returning to work. One cast member for Walt Disney World has issued an open letter to all would-be guests. The letter pleads with soon-to-be guests to be kind to cast members, to have sympathy and understanding for the current health situation and the risk Disney cast members are taking to provide some semblance of the magic that was alive and well before the global pandemic. It also calls out guests for their pre-pandemic behavior as well as the opinion they have stated despite the fact that they are not the same situation as some cast members are right now. An open letter from Disney cast member. Greetings to you, the reader of this letter. I don't know who you are, but I know you are either a Disney cast member or not, and this letter is addressed to those who are not. I am writing this letter to let non-cast members, i.e. potential future guests, know about our concerns going forward as Disney World begins to reopen its doors. There is a whirlwind of feelings swirling around the collective cast members' morale right now. Personally, I love my job at Disney World and I miss being there almost every day to make magic. And I know I'm not alone. I know there are many people who love their job and miss it and are eager to return as soon as we can. However, as eager as we may be to come back, we are also afraid. Cases of COVID-19 in Florida have continued to spike, setting records day after day, and despite this, the state continues to push forward with reopening. The curve was obviously not properly flattened, and the disease is still strong and abundant, but more and more people are starting to go out again as if nothing is wrong, and more people are becoming frustrated with the effort to slow the disease, such as social distancing and mask requirements. This is our struggle. We want to go back to work because we miss doing what we love, but we don't want to go back to work because we're scared of contracting a deadly disease that people are ignoring. Now, Disney World is making informed and intelligent decisions when it comes to park layout for reopening blocked off areas and seats on rides, vehicles limited capacity, increased hand sanitizer options, mask requirements, etc. They realize that this disease has not gone away and are preparing accordingly. However, the spike in cases is showing that it's not as safe to reopen as we had previously. My page just jumped on me. Or did it? Hold on, I lost my spot because the page jumped. Okay. Now this is where the letter is going to turn because it might push some buttons of some people reading, but it needs to be said. The main reason we are concerned is not because of getting too close to guests or touching something that's infected. We are concerned because how guests can behave when there is not a pandemic and how potential guests have been behaving now. Cast members face disgruntled guests on a daily basis. We are yelled at because the weather is too hot. We are yelled at because someone showed up too early or late for their fast pass. We are yelled at because someone didn't properly time a character meet and greet. We are yelled at because one guest was supposedly rude to another. We are yelled at because someone feels something costs too much. We are yelled at because we tell a child they can't go to a certain place or climb a certain thing because it compromises their safety. We are yelled at because someone's child is too short to ride a ride and they evidently don't care about the fact that height requirements are safety measures. We are yelled at because someone can't cross the street due to a parade taking place and we don't want to risk them being hit by a float or injuring a performer and themselves. So basically, yeah, it's the thing is this whole thing with the cast members, it's a thing. I know that. Cast members are they're just there to do their job. They try to help out. And I'm sure if you have a problem and you approach them and talk to them respectfully, they're even going to be better to help you out. These are the people that make things happen there. Unfortunately, when it comes to safety guidelines, there's not much they can do to that. So the thing is one of the things is yes, when you go there, it seems magical, but it's just a theme park. All right, it's no different. They have all the safety they have to have, and no magic shows up to replace your safety. So I mean, here's the thing: cast members do not put prices on the object. So I mean, it's just seems like these people take everything out on these cast members, and these cast members are there because they love their job and they want to be there and help out the guests. And there's just some guests that you just can't make happy. And really, I think cast members should be thanked every single day for what they do there at any of the Disney parks, and should be treated with respect. And you know, the thing is you can be angry, but you can do it without taking it out on somebody who isn't responsible for what's going on. So, like I said, so we just need to treat cast members better. They don't deserve some of the treatment you get. So, all right, let's see. What else do we got? So, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be close. I do have one other thing real quick. And that is over on the Disney Parks blog. Here we go. All right. This is something new. Disney's magic moment. Yep. Dole Whip Nachos at Disney Springs are back. I never had them before, but they sound amazing. As we all know, Disney Springs is all about shopping, dining, and entertainment. I am so excited to again stroll through Disney Springs to shop and, of course, eat. With many shops and dining locations now open, Disney Springs is the perfect destination to get away and relax with family and friends. The next trip to Disney Springs must include my new favorite, Dole Whip Nachos. Head on over to the Marketplace Snacks and dive into the bowl of deliciousness. Waffle cone chips topped with Dole Whip, mango boba pearls, fresh pineapple, strawberry sauce, whipped cream, and rainbow sprinkles. It doesn't get much better than this. So that sounds amazing. It really does. I still don't think it's gonna beat Dole Whip on top of pineapple upside down cake, but I think I would like to give it a try next time I'm down there. So hopefully it'll still be there. But it looks like our Disney news. Let me check one more thing. See if, because sometimes the news updates. Oh, here we go. So this is more over in California. This comes from SF Gate. Disney delays Southern California theme park reopening. All right. Disney is postponing the mid-July reopening of its Southern California theme park until it receives guidelines from the state. The company announced Wednesday Disney had hoped to reopen Disneyland and Disney California Adventure in Anaheim on July 17th after a 4-month closure due to the coronavirus, but the state has indicated it won't issue guidelines until after July 4th, the company said. Given the time required for us to bring thousands of cast members back to work and restart our business, we have no choice but to delay the reopening of our theme parks and resort hotel until we receive approval from government officials, Disney said in a statement. The company didn't provide a new reopening date. The parks closed on March 14th and the reopening requires government approval. Governor Gavin Newsom appreciates Disney's responsiveness to his concern about reopening amid the recent increases in COVID-19 infections across many Southern California continues. Newsom's spokesman Nathan Click said the governor, the state, and our public health experts continued to be in contact with the company and their workers, as well as other theme parks in the state, as we track and combat the spread of the virus. Disney also said it is still negotiating agreements with employee unions, some of which have raised safety concerns about the reopening. Disney said it has signed agreements from 20 union affiliates representing more than 11,000 employees, detailing enhanced safety protocols. So I don't know what's going on in California. So I don't know if this is a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. Like I said, I don't think Disney would reopen without doing something. They've always seemed to be ahead of everyone else. I don't know if they're the last in California. I know they are the last in Florida. I do know the cast members' concerns. I understand she doesn't want to be yelled at, but she's talking about a rising rate in Florida. From what I understand, the rising rate of Florida isn't coming from the Orlando area. It's coming more from the southern part down around Miami. Also, from what I've been told, is that, and I know I've been told this about Florida. I don't know about the other states that are high, but they're not removing cases that have recovered from it. So it sounds like they're inflating the number because they haven't removed cases of people who have overcome the virus and are well again, is from the way I was understanding. I may be wrong, but that's from what I was told. That's the way I understood it. So that sounds like they're inflating the numbers, or somebody is just too lazy to do their job. But, I don't know. I hate to call somebody out saying they're lazy. I don't know. There might be more to it. But, yeah. We didn't get a full hour in today, it looks. I mean, we can take another look down through. And I'm not seeing anything. Oh, there is one more thing. And this comes from Screen Rant. Mandalorian Bop It. Toy requires you to punch Baby Yoda. Huh. A new The Mandalorian themed Bop It toy from Hasbro requires players to bonk fan favorite character Baby Yoda on the head in order to win. A newly announced The Mandalorian themed toy has a new, uniquely unsettling feature. Players have to punch Baby Yoda. Since its premiere last fall on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian has become hugely popular as Star Wars' first live-action TV series. The show has also been commercially successful and led to a great deal of Baby Yoda toys, clothes, and other merchandise. Baby Yoda, officially known as the Child on the show, was the clear breakout star of the series upon its release. The part puppet, part CGI creature became one of the most popular memes online in the late 2019. This was thanks to, in part, to the iconic scene from director Bryce Dallas Howard, in which Baby Yoda drinks a small bowl of soup while wrapping in a cozy-looking robe. The overwhelming cuteness of the scene delighted fans, and Baby Yoda quickly became the centerpiece of the Mandalorian merchandising. However, this most recent addition to the Baby Yoda merch collection seems a bit more violent than the rest. So, I mean, you know, the thing is, I'm sure everybody wants to get in on it. It doesn't look like he's a cozy Baby Yoda. He looks like he's made of hard plastic for Bop It. I just, you know, they're just trying to of course, they want to get into their merchandising as well. So I don't see, and you know, I've seen other Bop Its that were characters as well, and it was the same thing. So why this would be such a big deal, I have no idea. But we're gonna go ahead and that's probably gonna do it for today. So coming up here in less than 25 minutes is going to be Dole Whip Dad, and I believe they were going over the Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot. And then I know after that, I think around about 11:15 is when Myers and the Mouse goes on. So if you got a chance today, go in, say hi, stay for a little while, give them a like, and I'm sure they'll appreciate that. But as for that, that's going to wrap up the morning show. Once again, I'm going to tell you good morning. I want you to have a good day. Also, if you like our content, please give us a thumb up. If you're watching this in the replay, give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell me how you think I'm doing with these topics in the morning. And if you're new to our channel and you like the content, please hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you know when we go live or post a video. But as for that, this is going to be it. And remember, I will catch you tomorrow morning.